few important takeaways. One is about the choice router. Hope you understand about choice router. It will be simple router, right?
Say that one more time. The choice
router.
Yeah.
It's called router because it routes the request to different paths, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Based on the condition, it routes the request to different paths.
That's right.
So we will configure one condition, the first path. If this satisfies, means if EMP name is there, this path will execute and it won't execute the rest of two paths. This will execute and move to the transfer message component, right?
Okay, so it should not be empty or null.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we are passing EMP name here from here, right? See,
yep,
in this case, we are passing EMP number. We are not passing EMP name. So
yeah.
This will be null. EMP name will be null, right? So this condition not satisfies. First condition is not satisfies. Then it checks the second path condition. This path condition, right? So here EMP null not equal to null. Yes, we are passing EMP number. It is not equal to null. It is 1868, right? So it takes the second path. And next it executes the transfer message component. It won't execute the default. If all the condition fails, if we are not passing the, for example, from the postman, we are not passing either employee number or employee name. Just we are sending the request like this. So in that case, what happened? What happened is it will take a default path.
Yeah.
Default path. So then you can able to see something some log in the default path. So that is called invalid option, right?
Invalid option, yeah.
That one. This got printed over here, right? So that is about the choice router. This is one of the important takeaway. Choice router routes the request based on the condition on the paths. Okay, whatever condition satisfies, it routes to that path.
Yeah. So I understand the choices.
Yeah. Exactly.
Can you click the choice icon?
Okay.
I want to see what do you configure. Do you configure anything under here?
Under here, nothing important.
Right? Nothing. Okay.
Yeah, only on the paths.
So the first choice, we're saying that if the attributes query parameter employee name, if employee name is not empty,
yeah, exactly,
it's gonna do that. It's gonna do the select statement.
Correct.
And the second one is that if employee number might be.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Now I got it. But you only transforming one and only one. You're not doing. I know this was just a practice, right? We just want to see. But that transform is it only works on one group on the employee ID number. So you see the transform yes, message.
This one, yeah.
It's only doing right now one, right? It's only tied to one right now.
What is transform is doing? Just is transforming the payload to the JSON format.
Okay.
Okay.
On either conditions, right?
Either conditions, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Both the conditions.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Now tell me one question I will ask. So here, if we pass both EMP name is equal to some and EMP NO is equal to, I am passing both example. Okay.
Yeah. It won't work.
In that case, which route will get executed?
The default one.
No. It check the first route, right? Okay. If this satisfies, then it's done. It won't check the rest of the routes because we are passing employee name. Employee name is not equal to null. This path will get executed and go to the transform.
So it's not going all the way, just checking if the first condition is met.
Yeah.
Then it will run.
Even though the second condition also satisfies, in this case, we are passing employee number also, but it doesn't matter. It won't care that one.
Only the first one.
Yeah.
I see. Makes
Right?
sense.
If
Yeah.
this not satisfies, then only go to the next part.
Okay.
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 That is in the choice router. And database select is one of the takeaway. We need to see how to configure the connectivity here.
Yeah.
Right. While configuring connectivity, we need to configure the driver first. Then we need to give where this database is running, what the database credentials, all the stuff.
That's right.
Okay. Next, we will configure the query part.
Yeah.
Here you configure query part. If you're passing any parameters, we need to pass parameters like this.
Okay.
Right.
Employee name.
Okay.
So this is any parameter, whether it's a URI or query parameter. It's similar, right? Similar configuration.
This not related to URI or query parameter. This related to database parameters. So SQL query parameter. For SQL query, if you are passing any where clause, then you need to configure like this. If there is no where,
I see.
Okay,
there's no other option. There is no, like this one is like under input parameters, you using query parameter, but also you could have used URI parameter.
Yeah. URI payload, whatever you want, you can map that one. That doesn't matter. Okay.
But if you do in the select query, select statement, if you pass in a parameter, you have to design it this way: employee name equal to, then put a variable name or
exactly colon variable name. This is called placeholder.
Yeah, placeholder, right?
Placeholder. That placeholder we need to map in this section.
Okay.
All
got
right.
it. Attributes that, yeah. So it's right now, like it could be like for example, like employee name colon attributes that I could use a URI parameter.
Yes, you can. Absolutely, no problem.
Yeah, that em name, but on the post or on what do you call a postman, then I, instead of saying equal to, I use and a crisis, right? Braces.
Yes, yeah.
To pass the URI information.
URI parameter. Correct.
Got it.
Correct. Okay, then what? See, why this required? If we pass like this, what happens? For employee name is equal to, I'm passing like Sai. There is some employee called name Sai in the database. I want to get, if I give like this, what's happened? It's any wrong over here?
So employee name you will say. So the challenge is, okay.
For example, there is Adam is employees there. If I give Adam as a employee name to fetch his details, so what is the problem?
So the problem is, the input parameter doesn't match, and
that is not the case. What happens is, if you configure like this, is hard coded, right? Is always fetches Adam's details only.
That's right.
Here we dynamically we are passing the employee name. We are fetching that employee details, right?
That's right. It's dynamic.
It's dynamic. If you go over it, this becomes static, fixed.
Yeah.
Right. So we won't get that feature. For that purpose, if you want your query to be dynamic, then we need to configure like this.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
Yeah, these two. And next example in database. All these database operators are self-explanatory. You can practice. I can give that one. Only one important thing is this one. On table row.
Okay.
This is a one important thing. This is a little different. So on table row is like this. Let me explain a little theory about on table row. You have a requirement like database. Okay. So there is a table called employee table in your database. No. And there is one application, some HR application, some application. Whenever a new employee joined in the company, it is adding the record to this employee database.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then what happens is there is another application. It has to do some onboarding activities for employee. So whenever a new record added to this table, it has to pick that, that record, and it has to do onboarding process. Some creating email or creating something should be right when employee joins to company.
Yeah.
Okay, this is different application.
Yeah.
Some onboarding application. Okay. So in that case, this application is keep on listening the database table, right? Whenever
so it's checking. So it's checking if there's if it's new entry, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So if you have such requirement, this is on table row.
Okay.
On this table, a new row adds, then this automatically triggers.
Okay.
Okay. For that purpose,
yeah.
See, I'm creating one simple. This on table row is a event source. Is not an event listener. Sorry, event processor. It event source, right? So we need to tell on which table it has to listen. Okay, I'm configuring the same database configuration, and if you configure the database, the host name, all the things, right?
Yeah.
You can able to see all the tables on the database. See, here I have Aadhaar, comment, country, employee, locations. These are some different tables are there.
Yeah.
Okay. So those tables are there here. See, in the Mule support, there are these tables, right? All the tables got loaded here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so we need an employee one. Okay.
If you want employee one, okay, this is employee table. Then you need to select which table you want to listen. So I want to listen employee table. Okay. Right. And you have to select what is the frequency.
It can check
frequency. If you can tell, okay, I have this component has to listen the database for every 20 seconds. Right? Scheduling frequency. For every 20 seconds, it will go and check the database for new tables. Sorry, new records. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, let me configure a simple logger over here to print the database records. Yeah, let me. So we did not do anything. See, its database, is printing all the records. See, gross salary, employee number, employee name, right? For another 20 seconds, it will print again. See, if you see the timestamp.
Yeah, yeah.
It is about, see, 32. Earlier it is 32. What's the time? 30. Sorry, 10. 10 after 30. How many seconds? Every 20 seconds, I think, right? You count for 20 seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 seconds, right? See here, log timestamp, Adam.
So, I don't know. And so the purpose here is to read the table for every 20 minutes or to check if there is a new row.
Excellent question, Adam. I like this. So whatever frequency you configure here, right? Every 20 seconds, you can go and check, fetch all the information from the database. But that is not an ideal case, right? People will want newly inserted records after that point,
That's
right?
right. Yeah.
So for that, you need to configure something like watermark.
Okay.
Okay, watermark column. So if you configure watermark column, what happens? First time it will print all the things. Next time onwards, it will check a timestamp. After that timestamp, newly added records only it will return.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm configuring the watermark column as employee number. We need to configure the primary key of the database over here for watermark column.
That's right.
Okay. So let me check. So let me clear the console. Yeah, first time. Sorry,
it's gonna read.
Console. It's logged and it's logged. I cleared the console. Okay. And what I'm doing is I'm inserting a new record.
Yeah.
So, this watermark column is not proper, man, because it's not an increment way. Actually, watermark column should do an increment, man. Okay. Okay, I give some highest number.
456.
Let me. Something added. Okay. Play. Finish. Then if I see. See, this record got returns, right? Only this record returns. Adam, Chicago location, ID. Okay. And next time onwards, it won't return anything unless a new record got added with employee number greater than this employee number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, our database column, this should be auto increment. It's not like that, but okay, this is my mistake. I didn't make as auto increment. So hope you got idea about the watermark.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. That's right. That's right. So that's how it's supposed to. So it knows right now where to start from next time.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
so
nice.
That's about on table row.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Then how do you configure it and to say how do you configure, like, for example, like in that exactly that table, how can we say, and but somehow it's maybe this is not ideal table, right? It's somehow it's still printing.
Somehow it's built in. Yeah.
What is that? I see a new line is written out all, again and again.
No. That's different. That's not an,
What is this?
This is a different statement. It's not an something like SSL statement.
Okay.
All right. This record is only one time important.
Okay. So my question to you is that how do you club and how do you and configure? I'm not configure, but how do you take the table row, like for example, like in this flow you have, right? The choice router and all that stuff. And but that might be different. I don't know. So what I was thinking is that right now you only configure and a flow by itself, right? That has this thing and call out on table row.
Exactly.
So you could do something like this, saying on table row, and then and then create another flow, right? Another something like
Yeah,
something like like a
What I
transform
do
the
is,
like
yeah,
transform
exactly.
the yeah
Exactly. So what I want to do is I will transform the new record,
Mm.
and I want to store um, the record to the file.
yeah.
I want to write the record to file. Okay.
That's nice. Yeah.
A file write. Okay. You need to give the path where you want to write in your machine in the path section.
Yeah.
Okay. Test folder.
Yeah.
I want to return over here. C drive
Okay.
test folder. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So C colon test colon employee dot JSON. I want to write like this. Okay. So here I'm transforming to JSON because I want to write in JSON format, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
JSON. What you need to transform is you transform the payload,
The
because
payload. Yeah.
the thing you return is a payload to the transform message component.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna add one more record to the database. This is 899, so I got 9000000. Okay. I'm adding the Smith record.
Yeah.
Okay, so apply.
Okay.
So added this record, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happens if I add that record?
So after 20 seconds, you'll read.
Yeah, it's got printed means
Yeah.
it's, let me go back to my path. So here I got an employee JSON file. If you open that file, you can able to see the record. Just opening. See, this is a record we added.
Yep. Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can send this record to JMS ActiveMQ also as a message.
Yeah.
You put a choice router, something like if they are satisfied into JMS or only based on some parameter, you can send to either a JMS or data file based on some condition. Okay.
So then you can publish it into an JSMQ.
Yeah.
And then maybe then in the real life create another application that
We'll pick up.
consumes that
Yeah.
and then outputs to another system.
Yeah, exactly. Another application we pick that from the JMS and we get to write to the file.
Yeah.
And it might be interest to some other database, some different database. Things will be there like that only in real time.
Yeah. So Ganesh, this is really good.
Yeah.
So you get this from the new record from the database. You
Yes.
transform it. You
Yes.
can send it to a GMS, right? And
Yes.
and publish it and publish that message, right?
Correct.
And in real life, as we said, then you can have another application that consumes that message.
Correct.
And then transforms and writes to another database or another system. That's a common practice, right?
Yes, common practice only. You transform to another database, the format, the another database, or the fields, it transfer that format and write to that database.
It's a common use case, right?
Yeah, common use case, Adam.
Yeah,
it's quite common.
Nice.
In the integration space, different applications will communicate to each other, right? So so one set of data need to move to the other application that may be different format in the other application.
Yeah.
The storage target is also different, might be.
Yeah, I love. I wish I could do something like that. And there's a lot of cases I have like this that I would love to practice with you while practicing.
Sure.
Cool. So, all right, that's good. So this is how we do in databases.
Yeah. Okay. Database. One more thing you need to understand is about this bulk statements. You need to practice one of the bulk component, bulk insert, right? So this is one important component. Like, see what happens is sometimes, like the integration will get different. One second. Let me, why this pen is okay. We have insert component.
Yeah.
You say insert. So insert component, we can send a record to database to insert into a table. Okay. If you want, I can show you the insert statement. Also very simple insert query. Simple insert into, you have an idea of SQL query.
Yeah,
right,
I know. Yeah,
simple.
I'm familiar with the inserts. Yeah.
Simple. If you say simple insert query, a new record, you can able to add a new record to database using insert statement.
That's right.
Okay. So what happens is you need to read a file, read a CSV file. Okay. And that file from a location where this file contains 100 employee records, 1,000 employee records. You may have some records. So your activity is you need to read that file, fetch all the employees from that file, transform that employees to the database format and insert to database. That is your activity.
Yeah.
Right. So to insert the 1,000 employees, you need to contact the database 1,000 times.
Yeah.
1,000 insert statements, right? Each insert statement is a network call.
Yeah.
Okay. Because in our machine, it is database and application running on the same machine. That is not issue. But in real time, database might be running a different IP address, different host, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we are doing 1,000 network calls, and every time you need to connect to database and you need to insert. That is that consumes your network traffic, and performance is also slow.
Yep.
Okay.
It's not efficient.
This time, it's not efficient. Every time you are connecting to database means you are establishing a connection. That is expensive one. It takes time and resources. Okay. So the better idea is here using the bulk insert. What bulk insert will do is it creates all the insert statements and it won't send until 1,000 insert statements create, and it will send all 1,000 insert statements in one call. Okay. So database will read that all insert statements and insert to database. So in one call, I will send all the records. That is called bulk insert. Got it, Adam?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, this is when we are going to insert, many records are huge number of records. We need to use bulk insert.
Yeah. So I haven't used it, but I'm thinking this is a good practice for like if you're creating like a first time, if you're creating table first time, for example, right?
Yeah.
With a lot of record, right?
Yeah.
If you have a lot of record and first you're creating table first time and you want to insert a lot of record, this is good. It's a good case.
Exactly. Yeah, when a lot of records, we need to use the bulk insert. We should not use a normal insert.
Yeah.
When there is situation, we don't use. Yeah.
But if you're dealing with like after you created a lot of them and you're expecting, some, not many, then you. So do you see a case where a bulk insert is the what's okay? I have a question. So like, what's what kind of how many what's the count of the records that's candidate for a bulk insert instead of a normal insert?
You want higher limit, upper limit?
Yeah. So what I'm thinking, and 20 record or 15 record to insert a table. Do you go normal insert or do you go bulk insert? I don't know. I'm just wondering what's the best practices for someone.
Yeah, I prefer bulk insert if you inserting more than 50 records.
More than what?
50 or
Yeah,
less than
more than 50.
Yeah, more than 50. It's better go for the bulk insert. Let me see the bulk insert. One moment. Insert. One second, let me either I read the documentation quite long ago. Let me.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
So the best practice is always you need to read the MuleSoft standard documentation on the concept, whatever we discussed here.
That's right.
So because I may not cover the entire, scenarios or entire stuff. Okay.
1 to 100 rows. Okay, I got it.
So let me check. This given step by step.
That's fine. We'll look into that more later, but I'm thinking.
Yeah. Okay, go to this page and read this thing.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that is about the bulk concept. And these three things you need to understand is normal select, update, select, insert, update, delete. These are normal queries. Okay.
Yeah.
This is very simple. And other things like use on table row is important because you want to fetch the records from database. That's and you want to do operations.
Yeah.
Then if you have idea of the store procedures, anytime we write SQL scripts right on the database end.
That's right.
Okay. So those also we can able to execute using a stored procedure call over here.
Okay.
Right. You have any SQL query, we need to just call the SQL query. That's it. The SQL query got executed.
Yeah, I think I'm familiar with the queries and the databases. So.
Okay. So that's about the database connectivity. Please practice. If you have any question, you can get back to me at any time. I will happy to support you. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
All right. Next topic I want to discuss today. Yesterday we discussed basics of the JMS.
Yeah.
Okay, basics of JMS. And earlier in the starting of sessions we discussed about HTTP connector, right? HTTP request also discussed, right?
Yeah.
We called some other data, some other SQL, HTTP URL, and we covered the database.
Yeah.
And I will send you the few documents to create an account in the Salesforce. And you create account in Salesforce. So I will discuss the Salesforce in the next section. Okay.
Nice. This a lot of people in MuleSoft, they use a Salesforce stuff.
Yeah, CRM.
So I can create something like for test stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, you can create in the cloud. You can create some records in the Salesforce, and you can fetch those records into your local, and you can do whatever you want. You can usually there is a use case, is very important use case is Salesforce to database bidirectional,
Yeah.
synchronization.
Wow.
Many
Wow.
companies want that one.
Yeah.
Okay, because the Salesforce in the cloud and the database in their on-prem system,
Yeah.
right? So whenever a new record added to Salesforce, and they want that record to a local database. Sorry.
That's right.
And whenever a new record added to database, they want to
Yeah.
transfer that database record to Salesforce.
Yeah.
We need to make these two systems in sync. That is a bidirectional sync.
Bidirectional. Yeah.
Okay. So that is
Nice.
use case we can do to get idea about how to synchronize the Salesforce system and your local databases.
Yeah. So I have a question.
Yeah.
You saying that you can help me, or there's a way to have a like data Salesforce, like a test system or something, Salesforce.
Yes. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yes. I share your document to create a account in the Salesforce. Please create an account. Then I'll show
Okay.
you how to create an object in the Salesforce, and that stuff we will discuss. Okay.
Nice. Okay. Okay.
This thing is done. And there are so many characters are available based on our application requirement. We deal with those connectors like SAP connect, Workday connect. Okay, but these are not. There is specific connectors. Okay, these are
Yeah.
generic connectors.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, one of the most important thing in the concept you need to learn is about error handling. Yeah,
Or error handling.
error handling.
Yeah. Right. That's
Okay.
key.
Yeah. So why we require error handling? What is the importance of error handling?
Yeah. The key thing is that if there's an issue or there's a problem within this application, you need to know. You need to catch the error, the exceptions or the problems, and so that you can deal with it or manage the problems.
Fantastic. Excellent. So if you don't have proper error handling strategy, you don't have any clue, and it is very hard to fix that
That's right.
problem, right?
That's right.
Okay. So we need to configure proper error handling. Means, for example, you develop an application as a mule. It will, connected to different systems like database.
Okay.
Right. So database is not responding. Database is down.
Yeah.
Right. So from the client, you got the record, and we need to insert that record to database, but database is not responding. Our client is expecting some information from the database. He selected query, but we are not able to respond back to client because the database is not responding.
Yeah.
Right. Then what we need to do? First thing is we need to write a proper log statement to our log files. Okay, so that we come to know, okay, at this point this is error, because of that we're not right. So we need to, whenever error occurs, we need to do proper logging in our log statement, right? Got it? Got Adam? So there are two kinds of errors usually, right? One is the system errors and business errors. You have idea of system and business errors, Adam?
Yeah, so system errors, I think something related to the system, whether it's like a network or database or connections.
Excellent.
Or access,
Excellent.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And business is like more like an application that you are dealing with, right, within the application.
Yeah, that's fine. So system is like when you connect to the any target system, the issue that is called system error. And business error, like while processing the message, you send some message, that message is not proper. Some mandatory information is missing in the message. And instead of, number age, you send some string, some information is not correct. So you're not able to process that message because of the message is not, proper. Right. So those error, those messages falls on the business error. Right.
Yep.
Connectivity system error. So how Mule manages this error handling is at 3 levels.
Okay.
First one is at application level. Application level. Flow level and component level. Okay. So application level, flow level, and component level.
Okay.
Right. So define global strategy for entire application. But suppose in your Mule application, you have 5 flows. For 5 business operations, you define 5 flows. Okay. 5 flows. Wherever the error occurs, irrespective of any flow, you want to handle error in a similar manner. For that, you define one global error handler. Okay. So when error occurs, you navigate, we route that error to the global error handler, and this will handle the error. Okay. So this is called application level error handling.
Okay. You do,
right?
you configure the error handling globally, you see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So at flow level also we have the error handling. As I think in first session we discussed, flow contains 3 components. That moment I told that we discussed about error handling component later, right?
The source,
so
the
first thing is
processor,
event source and processors and
error handling. Yeah.
Right. So this section, while processing the message, if you get error, it landed to the error handler section.
Yeah.
Right. Then what activity we do instead of error handling? If error occurred, we need to do some activity, right?
Yeah.
So we can log the message to log file, so that that message is available in the production logs. We can able to troubleshoot easily, right?
Yeah.
And we can send some notification emails to some teams.
Nice.
You got some error because of this, your processing is maybe delayed, or if you get any error from the database, we can send an email to database support team. Hey guys, this is not responding. Could you please check, something like that?
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
So we can send notifications. We can send, logging, proper logging. Right. So those activities we can perform inside the error handling. Got it?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Or else if you don't want to send some, the technical stuff back to client, you want to send some meaningful message, you can configure that message over here. You can send that message to the client so that the client can able to understand, right, the message, rather than showing him some technical trace, so that he is not able to understand the technical trace, right? So those things you can do inside the error handling. All right.
Yeah.
So one thing, application level is you configure on global error handler. There you managing errors, right? That is called global error handler. And flow level means you define error handling inside the flow. You manage, you define the error handling part inside the flow. And there is one more component level, means for each component, what I can do is, in the flow, for example, this is the flow. I can wrap the component inside something called try scope. The scope is available, try scope. I can wrap the component inside the try scope, and the try scope has a error handling section.
What's called try scope?
Okay. Try scope, TRY, try scope.
Oh, try scope.
Try. Okay, there's a try. You can wrap the component or components inside the try. So
Oh,
if error occurs while processing that component, first it lands into the try scope error handler. Okay.
so when you say the component, give me example. Like what?
Database select, maybe the database select or JMS,
Okay.
publish,
Okay.
a transform message component. All these are components only.
So transforming message inside the flow.
Yeah. Transformation inside the
That's
flow.
component.
This is that's component only.
So the listener is
Right.
component.
Listener is also component, but okay, yeah.
So I just want to get. I understand that connectors could be a component, right? But
Right.
is a component here means the icons or
Even processors, not even listeners.
okay, even processors. So
Even
so any
processors,
so
even
anything,
processors.
any icons like
Yeah.
for example transformer or even the logger or anything that you drag inside the even processor. That's what component is.
Correct. Yeah.
Right?
See the scope. What I can
That's
do
a
is I can put try over here, and I can add a try set one. So now this is try.
oh
Try has a handler, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So I used the try in PowerShell.
Yeah. If you have Java guy, you might have instead the try in Java programming usually. Try
Yeah,
catch.
there's try catch called something called try
Yeah.
catch in
Yeah.
in PowerShell.
In
In
which language? PowerShell. Okay.
PowerShell. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
Mm-hmm.
basically, before I execute anything,
Mm-hmm.
I say I use a try and catch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. So let me execute one simple example so that we get clear some idea on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I will discuss about let's start with very simple error handling example. What I'll do is one second. Okay, I try to do a simple project. So I'm configuring the listener the default port. Here, what I'm doing is I'm trying to read a file. Okay, there is a file read component. We can read a file actually using this file read component. Okay, so I want to read the file, the one I created just now.
Yeah.
The employee JSON file.
Yeah.
So there is employee JSON file in the C test path. I want to read that file. C colon test colon employee dot JSON. Hmm.
Why
So
did you
I've
put
given
why did you put
spelling
two?
mistake. Employee, I missed O, right? So what happens? You try to read the file, but we given
Wrong name.
yeah. So my intention is to read the employee JSON, but I missed the O over here. There is some by mistake I given employee. I misspelled. Yeah. So I'm trying to read the file that is not exist in that path, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
trying to reading a
Yes.
file, but that file is not exist in this path. I definitely get error. All right.
Okay.
So to handle that error, the section is called error handling section. Here,
Mm.
I can tell you. Okay, I need to. We discuss about on error continue and on error propagate. Just as of now, there is one box is here. Okay, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you need to tell what kind of error you want to handle. Maybe in your flow, there you are doing different kind of things like you're talking to databases, publishing messages, JMS queues, you're talking, you're inserting Salesforce and doing some transformations. You are doing, so many activities. But
Yeah.
when the error occurs, error might occur in any case, right?
Mm.
Maybe error may occur while you are inserting record to database, or error may occur while publishing the information to JMS queue. Error may occur while you are trying to communicate with the Salesforce. A number of chances are there, right?
Uh-huh.
So then how you handle that error means which error you want to handle. You want to handle database error, you want to handle file error, you want to handle JMS error, what error you want to handle, right? So that
Yeah.
type I need to view over here. If I click on the magnifying glass, it
Mm.
tells, okay, file illegal path. Because I'm doing only file operation, I'm
Okay.
able to see the file related errors. If I add database over, right, but suppose select it. Then if you see the type over here,
Mm.
it contains DB connectivity,
Wow. Nice.
that SQL syntax. So
Yeah.
based on the the activities you are
The,
performing on the
the
flow, it
component
will
level.
use error,
Yeah.
right?
So each component it has error handling and solution.
Yeah. Okay. So if you want to handle error while reading the file, then you need to select file illegal path or file related file, maybe access denied, that error you need to, right? I'm giving file illegal path.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Those options, right?
Yeah.
The error type options.
Yes.
I know might be I care about 2 or 3, but if all these conditions can happen, right? Connectivity and for example, like access denied and file lock, illegal path.
Yeah.
There's some of them that could potentially happen, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's the solution for that? Create that exception all the time, everyone?
So yes, one thing is you want manage the error in a very specific manner or in a generic manner. Okay, so you want to handle error very specific manner, means very, if you given file illegal path, then you need to configure this error.
Yeah.
And you need to define one more box on error continue. And for this box can handle the file lock or file connectivity, file access, this one.
Okay.
Right. So you need to define multiple.
You have to call it for all
handling each kind of error.
Yeah.
Okay. Or else what you want is, I don't want all these, multiple error handlers. I want to handle all errors in a generic manner.
Okay, that makes sense.
In that case, you need to define the as any, or without giving any also fine. Any means it will handle any kind of error, whether it is database, whether it is file access in it, any kind of error it will handle, right? Then
and that's error for all the component or per component?
All the components. It's any handles all the component errors. Right.
Okay.
Then why we go for a what is the disadvantage to define only any? Why we need to define the specific error handlers, specific scopes?
Yeah, because we can, the scope of the error message is based on that specific alert. Yeah. It's, the ones we're expecting, and also the ones that we wanna, that critical, might be critical to the business, critical to the application to function. And but the problem is that some applications have so many components and so many different errors can happen.
Yes.
And sometimes to create each error and a box is, it will become like too many.
Yes, there is some requirement, Adam. You need to handle the file related errors in a different manner, and you want to handle the database related error in a different manner. First of all, that is requirement. Okay. So what I'm doing is, this one I'm changing to the database connectivity, DB connectivity, DB-SQL syntax, suppose. Right. So see, the first part, the first error, if any file illegal path, means you're reading a file, but you're given the wrong path. If that error occurs, you want to send the email notification to some network team or something, developer team, something, okay? And you want to manage this error in a different manner. So you define dedicated, scope for that.
Yeah.
So if database error occur, you want to send a mail to database team. So for you dedicate scope for this. You are handling two errors differently, right? So that is advantage. If you put any, right, all errors occur in the same manner, means all errors are managed in the same manner. So you are missing the opportunity to handle in a specific way, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the best practice is, you will define this specific boxes. At the end, we will define any block, means
okay, I see.
None other satisfies, this will manage that error.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Got it. Right. So now, what is error actually? That thing you understand before handling what is error. Error means some situation, right? It is error. So error, you understand. Basically, error, everybody know. Error is a some kind of problematic situation, right?
Yeah.
So here the MuleSoft error is two sections. One is namespace. And second is identifier.
Okay.
Error composed of two sections. We will define error in two sections. Namespace means it's related to which namespace, like it's database or it's file or FTP or Salesforce, right? That is called namespace. For suppose database, DB is the namespace. Inside DB, you may have different kind of error, right? You may given the wrong SQL. Because of that, the error is coming. That is a bad SQL syntax. Okay, bad SQL syntax. Maybe chance SQL is good, but you are given the wrong password to connect to database.
Yeah.
Then DB connectivity error, right? That is, you are not able to connect to database because of the credentials are wrong, right? So the identifier defines due to which reason or which which error you want to not able to connect database inside this namespace. Right. The file is a namespace, and you get file error because you are trying to read a file, trying to write a file that is something like read only files.
Access.
Okay.
So you're saying
files,
that.
right?
So you're saying that the database file and whatever that component is the namespace.
Namespace.
And whatever that's happening, whether it's connectivity or the file path or access, is identifier.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. So if you see the error, right, error type, right, if you see anything, it's composed of database, bad SQL syntax, database connectivity, database query execution. This database DB is the namespace, and the SQL bad syntax is identifier.
Okay.
Okay.
So anything before the column is a namespace. After that, it's identifier.
Exactly. Right.
Got
so to handle this error, we need to define a scope. This is a scope. If I'm seeing this on error continue, this is scope. That scope we define to handle that error.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I recommend today you go to this path in the MuleSoft standard documentation. Taking time. I saw one. I'll ping you that where you can see all the errors. Actually, the error hierarchy. Okay. So I'll explain one simple example and post this one. So here, what I'm doing is. File path not exist. This one I want to lock when you are not able to read the file. Okay. The set payload also.
So what's the log then?
Yeah. I want to write some log statement. Okay. File path not exist. In the set payload, please verify file name. Okay. So here what I am doing is I am reading these file
Okay.
names. Project. One second. It should be very fast, but network issue. Okay.
It deployed.
So, deployed. Now I'm trying to read the file. What given? What path I given over here? Let me see the path.
It was a slash. What was it?
Only they didn't give anything. Okay. So I'm getting message like please verify the file name.
Yeah,
right?
because that was quick.
So this is what a message we set over here in the set payload that is returning to the client.
Yeah.
Okay.